Even as the United States tries to identify the actors for a transitional authority to replace Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, the Obama administration says it is still considering a no-fly zone for northern Syria, but not military intervention. Former U.S. Ambassador Frank Wisner says there remains no support for military involvement in Syria from the United States or its allies.
What we should be talking about is not a military option, but a political option. And that option must mean the assumption that as dreadful as this regime is in Syria, as ghastly as the crimes it is committing, you need a political way out of the current situation. You need, in short, a political settlement.
But some analysts say the longer the 20-month-old conflict drags on, military intervention will be inevitable. Princeton professor Anne-Marie Slaughter is a former U.S. State Department policy planner.
I think the U.S. should be doing everything we possibly can at this point to help establish buffer zones, even if that means that they have to be no-fly zones, so you have to actually put in planes to protect them.
Some, like Kurt Volker of Arizona State University's McCain Institute for International Leadership and a former U.S. ambassador to NATO, say the U.S. should build a broader diplomatic base of support along with some military component.
That would be a combination of a no-fly zone, of taking out air defenses, of limiting the ability to use armor inside Syria. Doing that would give some time and some space to the rebels in Syria. And then what's already beginning to happen is the development of something of a safe haven along the border with Turkey.
With more than 100,000 Syrian refugees in Turkey, Washington is weighing a no-fly zone for areas of northern Syria controlled by Assad opponents and rebels. But Wisner says no-fly zones are military interventions by a different name.
A no-fly zone, a humanitarian zone, means you have to put troops on the ground. A no-fly zone means you're fighting a war and you're going to have pilots shot down. You will be dragged into military engagement.
And Wisner says U.S. national interest argues clearly against an American military engagement in the Middle East.
I hope we've come to a recognition that we can't have our way with military force, that we've got to use military force in our future in the most sparing manner, when our most vital, direct, and essential national interests, ones that affect our immediate security, are at stake.
So far, the U.S. and its allies have preferred to shore up the political arm of Syria's opposition. Keida, Kostreci, VOA News.